Hi everyone, Fraser here from the Most Dangerous Podcast. If you've been enjoying the show, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It really helps us to reach more people like you who love the show. Also, you can follow us on Instagram at The Most Dangerous Pod and join the conversation on Facebook at The Most Dangerous Podcast. For those of you who want to go the extra mile, we're on Buy Me a Coffee. So if you'd like to support the show with a small donation, it would mean the world to us. And if you have any suggestions or feedback and want to get in touch, you can email us at jamesandfraserpod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. Can you hear her chewing the bottom step of the stairs?
Can I just say as well, if you hear any sort of whirring or buzzing,
go on.
I overclocked my PC. I don't think I put it back, so the fans are going a bit mad.
Fair enough. Hello, welcome back to the Most Dangerous Podcast, and Happy New Year, everyone. How are you, James? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, mate. Happy Christmas as well. I didn't speak to you, really, did I? I was too busy eating and drinking to sort of like communication with you, to be honest. Did you have a good one?
Yeah, but I've had probably the most. We've had a lovely Christmas, but I've never had 2 weeks where I've done so little.
It's good.
You need a long time.
You do need it. Although I do think Scotland have got it right, because you get the second off in Scotland.
Yes.
Whereas you only get the first off in England. And I've been back in work Thursday, Friday. So have you? The year doesn't really start until Monday in my eyes. This is still kind of like the sort of post-Christmas thing. But yeah, so I've been in work. I've not really been doing much because I was absolutely fucked on New Year's Day. So I sort of like woke up at like 11. I was like, it's my last day off, so I'll get up dead early. Woke up at like 11. Yeah. Just like laid in bed all day, just wallowing in my own filth. And then work the following day. So I need another break to kind of like rest.
Yeah, you kind of need that second day. Like you wake up and you feel like crap on New Year's Day, and you need that second day to sort of recover a little bit more and then sort some shit out.
Yeah.
Tidy up a bit, get ready for work, iron your shirt. And
stuff's still a mess. And like we're just waiting for the weekend, which, starts tomorrow. So that's when we take all the shit down, put everything away, finish off the last of the cheese. I think, that's not going to happen, to be honest. We've still got loads of cheese left, loads of chocolate. I've probably put on about 3 stone, I think.
Really?
No, I don't think it's that much. I mean, I'm not a big eater really, anyway. But I did eat more than usual. But yeah, I'm a bit kind of sort of like, need a holiday. So how about you? What did you do? You did a little mini one-man show, didn't you?
Yeah, well, we said we weren't going to do a Christmas one, and then we said we would. And the reason we said we weren't going to do one is we said that stuff would get in the way and we wouldn't get to do it. And then we said, no, actually, we will do it. And then stuff got in the way.
Yeah, like we said. So we should have stuck with that.
But I'd kind of put it out there that we were going to do one. So I just sat and told this story about my dad leaving home on Christmas Eve.
Oh, did you? I don't know. I listened to it a little bit, I think. I don't usually listen to myself. It's weird. I wasn't on it, to be fair. So I should probably go back and listen to it. So we're back in the room. It's 2025. I like the sound of 2025. It's like a rounded kind of number, isn't it? It's going to be a good year, I think. Unless the nukes go off, you know.
Well, what I actually said that on the social, I don't think you don't even look at our social media or anything, but I did a weird thing for New Year's Eve. What did you do?
We played like a murder mystery game, which was quite
good. Oh, right.
Yeah, it was quite interesting.
Cool. Just in the house.
Yeah, so you get it was like something I got for Christmas. And it's like, I don't know,
I think I saw that. We were looking at games for the kids, and I think I saw it. It's like the pack, it's already set up.
Yeah, you just get it's a pack. It's basically a file with like photographs in it, like police records, different things like that. And you get like a scenario. So in my scenario, a woman had just won the lottery like 3 days earlier, and she'd been murdered in the park.
Right.
And then you just kind of have to, with using the evidence, you just kind of have to figure out who's done it. It's a bit like Cluedo, but there's no board or anything. You like you all work together. And it took us hours, to be honest. They are really good. I do recommend them. But all the four of us, we kind of sat down. We started quite late. It was like 9:30. I thought, this will do us up to sort of midnight. By like 1:30, we were like, should we just have a look at the clues online? We just couldn't figure it out. We didn't get it in the end. We were close, but we missed one significant clue, which threw us off.
But when we looked at that in the shop, am I right in thinking once you've played it once, that's it? Cause...
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So
right.
How much was it? Out of interest, because like I say, it was a gift for me.
Yeah, I can't remember. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't horrendously expensive either.
It was about sort of 14-15 quid, I think.
Yeah, a lot cheaper than going to a murder mystery event.
Yeah, no, we really enjoyed it. So highly recommend them if you come across them, or even if you got one for Christmas in your stocking, have a go. It's good.
Well, we did a strange thing. Laura said to me a couple of days before New Year's, I fancy going bowling. So I was looking on bowling, and it came up New Year's Eve, 10-pin bowling. Special offer. And I thought, that's quite interesting. You could actually go bowling on New Year's Eve. And apparently there was, good atmosphere and music and stuff like that.
Till midnight?
You could, it was open till 1:30 in the morning.
Really? All right.
But we didn't do that. We booked, and also it was really cheap. It was, for us to go bowling any other time for 7 of us was like 110 quid for 2 games of bowling.
It's not cheap, is it?
It was 75 quid, 2 games of bowling, and we all got food.
Right, that is
basically
good.
Cheeseburger, chicken burger, chicken nuggets,
Nice.
So it was an absolute bargain. We went like 7:30 till 9:30, 10:15. Came home, and we played like a kid's version of Cards Against Humanity and brought in the new year.
Yeah. I don't really like New Year. It's a bit but everyone's just sitting around. It's good to do something like that. I think we were going to go to the cinema, but we just never bothered. But then to actually play a game or sort of, it's almost like passing the time, isn't it?
I know. It's better when you're young. The other problem I had this year is I told you that I was getting investigated for potential rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not really quite sure what's happening to me. I've got some degenerative disease going on or something, and been put on 3 different types of painkillers and stuff like that. So Christmas Day, I had half a glass of Bucks Fizz. I was nearly falling over, so couldn't drink at all.
It sounds like good shit. You cheap night out.
Yeah, they are good shit. But one of them was codeine, and you mentioned to me codeine bungs you up.
It does bung you up.
Yeah, so Christmas dinner and all that, I ate loads of food. And I noticed probably about the 28th of January that I hadn't been to the toilet for a couple of days.
December,
yes.
It's not there yet.
And I said to Laura, I said, this is bad. I'm like, my belly's swollen. I feel rough as hell. I'm going to need to go and get some laxatives. So I went to the shop and I thought, right, I'm not buying the cheapest ones, buy some decent ones. It says take 1 to 2 and wait 6 hours. Right?
Premium laxatives.
Yeah, proper stuff. So it took 2, 24 hours later, nothing, right?
Really? Were you still taking the codeine though?
I'm still taking the codeine, yeah.
Right, well,
because I'm in pain if I don't take it. So waited 24 hours later, took another one. 24 hours later, nothing, not even a Malteser, right? So I thought, right, I'm going to give it one more. So this is New Year's Eve, first thing in the morning. I'm going to give it one more of these pills. Took it, right? Still nothing. 7 o'clock, driving to the 10-pin bowling.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Perfect timing.
So everyone in the car's falling out of me. I've got my own lane at the bowling because I started to stink. Absolutely, still nothing, just loads of gas in there. And we're back at home. Now, we live in a cul-de-sac, and as soon as it's New Year, everyone goes out, all the neighbours come out, clink glasses, Happy New Year, and there's a big firework display.
Right.
Someone on our estate does a big display. Ding, 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 Happy New Year. I need to go to the toilet. So I spent New Year's, the actual midnight bit, everyone outside and myself in the toilet. Disposing of a week's worth of food. £5 I lost in 48 hours.
Yeah. It's like, start the year as you mean to go on, I suppose. It's a very satisfying conclusion to 2024, and, I bet you felt better after it.
Oh, I hovered out the toilet. It was wonderful. So that's probably lost us a few listeners. We've gained listeners.
Story. Have we?
Yeah, I checked our Spotify. We've gained a few followers over Christmas, New Year. do it. We always gain followers when we don't do episodes. Have you noticed that?
It's trying to tell us something.
Yeah. So
right. Yeah. Anyway, enough of this waffle.
I know the main event.
Yeah. What have you got for us? So we're still doing the sins thing. If you remember,
yes,
before Christmas,
we
made a bit of a administrative error, and we picked out sins.
The only one that had to be 7 when we had a 4-week slot.
Yeah. So we're going to carry this on, and it's you this week. And which one is it? I can't remember.
It's greed. We're talking about greed.
Greed. Okay.
Yeah, and we're not talking about someone that eats a lot of food. That's gluttony.
Which
this is the kind of money and power greed.
I see. That's the kind of greed I like. Yeah.
So people that eat loads of food, they're just
fat bastards.
Fat bastards. I was going to say that. So I've got 2 stories, right? I've got a very old classic kind of mythical story of greed that I thought about doing the podcast on.
Yeah.
Changed my mind because I found a better story.
Is it Midas?
It's Midas, yes.
So you didn't tell me that. I just thought, as soon as you said that about sort of wealth and greed, I thought...
Yeah, it's the classic story, and I thought I could do it, but it's probably had the arse dragged out of it anyway. And
it's a good story. It's a
good story, yes. I've just got a little summarised sort of story about Midas, in case anyone doesn't know it.
I think there'll be a few people who don't know it.
Yeah. Do you know what I've noticed? I was thinking about this today. People say, when someone's really successful, he's got Midas touch. As if it's a good thing.
Everything... I don't want to spoil it. Let's not spoil the story.
Yeah. So I'll tell you the story. So King Midas of Phrygia was a man obsessed with wealth. One day he did a...
I've never heard of... what is it? Phrygia.
Phrygia. Phrygia.
Oh, I see. Sounds Egyptian. We'll say it's Egyptian. Because of the PH, in Pharaoh.
Yeah. I think it's that part of the world. Was a man obsessed with wealth. One day he did a kind deed for the god Dionysus, who offered to grant him a wish. Without hesitation, Midas wished that everything he touched would turn to gold. I mean, what an idiot.
He's not thought that through, has he?
No, it's just straight into that, yeah. First time he goes for a wee. At first, Midas was overjoyed, testing his newfound power on everything around him. He should have said, "Can I say gold when I touch it?"
Yeah, can I have a magic? Can I have a wand when I touch something with a
wand? Trees, stones, and even his palace shimmered with golden brilliance. But his delight quickly turned to despair when he realized his food and drink also turned to gold, leaving him unable to eat or drink. The final blow came when his beloved daughter ran to embrace him, only to be turned into a lifeless golden statue.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, gutted. Realizing the curse his greed had brought, Midas begged Dionysus to take back the gift. The god took pity on him and told him to wash his hands in the river Pactolus. As Midas obeyed, the river carried away the golden touch, leaving him free but forever humbled. From that day on, Midas shunned wealth and lived a simple life, having learned the true cost of his greed.
Well, so he got away with it. I thought he was going to go well, actually, everything such now turns to shit.
Yeah.
Have that.
Now, it made me think, and I never thought about it at the time, that's where they obviously drew the inspiration for the Skittles advert. The guy where everything he turns to Skittles.
Into Skittles. Yeah. Yeah, I do like that story. I didn't realise. I thought he died, actually. I thought he starved. I bet there's another version where he starves.
Probably, yeah. I think given that it's a made-up story, there's probably a few.
Is it?
Yeah.
It can't be made up, that.
Probably one of those stories where parents have thought, right, I really need to teach my son a lesson, so I'll just say he starved, and they've changed it. Or
no, I think that's the adult version where he starves. That sounds like the nursery rhyme version where he goes, "Oh, he just washed his hands and he's all right now."
Yeah,
if you make, you can be good in the end. Whereas the real version, the adult version, the 18 version, they go, "I just couldn't eat anything, so he starved."
A story I was reading to Teddy recently was the Pied Piper. What a fucking dark story that is.
I know, yeah. He just runs off.
Steals all the kids.
Yeah. That's like just... But
why
does he do that again? Because he's clears the town of rats, doesn't he? And they don't pay him. They
basically, I think, let's make up figures. He says it's $2,000 for me to clear the town of rats. And they're like, yeah, okay. And then he just goes with his whistle, and the rats all follow him out of town. And the mayor's like, you did that too easy. I'm only going to give 500 quid.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, it doesn't matter how easy it. My joiner friend, Ben, sometimes he'll give someone a quote for $2,000 and they go, well, you did that in 3 days. And he's like, yeah, but that's because I'm good.
Yeah, I've seen stuff like
you
that.
Want to pay me less because I'm good.
Yeah, where like builders go back to the house. You know, if someone doesn't pay them, they go back, like they've done a conservatory or whatever, they go back and just tear it down.
Take it all away. Yeah. My dad did it. My dad ripped up someone's driveway, didn't pay him. And the guy phoned the police, and the guy said, it's his driveway, but it's my fucking concrete, and I'm taking it back.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, nice story. I do like that. It's a moral there, isn't there? Don't be a greedy fucker.
That's it. And just think about it. If you get a wish and you want everything turned to gold, just have, a safety net.
Or, just give yourself 5 minutes. Give yourself 5 minutes. Have a think. What do you really, really want?
Yeah.
You can have anything in the world. PlayStation 5.
Yeah, that's one of those things when I've got like an insomniac night and I'm just lying in bed and you start thinking, if you had the watch that could stop time, what would you do? If
I think
like
that would be mine.
A wish.
Yeah, I think that would be mine. But like a remote control, like a TV remote.
Yeah.
With like play, pause, rewind, like a Sky remote. But then you can put like it's got numbers on it.
Mm-hmm.
You can put that, could be like the years. So you could go like 2034. And then it takes you, that definitely be mine. Pause
the only caveat to that would be that when it's paused, you don't age. Because I've read a Stephen King book and it's like he goes back in time. But like if he spends 5 years and then he comes back to the present, he's aged 5 years. So he's
still I think I saw something similar on like the like Twilight Zone or something. He had a cupboard that you could go into and it paused time, but he'd get older.
Yeah, don't want that. That's what you got to think about it.
That's it. Yeah,
sit and write down the rules.
Pause time into the women's changing room. Everyone was thinking it.
I would spend a lot of time just basically like pausing time and pulling down people's pants that I don't like and stuff, and just
I just
like, sleep. You've seen The Simpsons.
I just have a kip. I just pause some time, just go and have a kip, and then come back. That's what I'd use it for most, I reckon.
Yeah, so you could get loads of shit done during the night when everyone's asleep because you've had a sleep.
Just in the day because I'm just tired. Like, I can't be arsed with this. I'm going to go for a sleep for 4 hours and then start it again and just carry on.
So much more productive, wouldn't you? Yeah, there's The Simpsons where every time Homer gets a donut to his mouth, Bart pauses time and steals it. And he gets really frustrated. I reference The Simpsons too much in this podcast.
It was a good show. It's been. There's more amount of time of it being shit than there was it being good. No,
I wouldn't say it's shit. I'd say it's all right, but it was amazing at the start. I think.
Yeah,
it's still holding its own out there in the world.
I've not seen it for years.
It used to be.
Yeah, I've not seen it for a long time. Anyway,
I know we said we'll do this quickly tonight.
Yeah.
So tonight, James, I'm going to talk about a guy called Marcus Licinius Crassus.
Sounds Roman.
A real man that was knocking about in 115 BCE, so just before Jesus was born.
115, yeah, that's not far off.
But he was knocking about at the same time as people like Spartacus, and he was a Roman. He was in the Roman.
Yeah, I said that. Time. Did you not hear me?
Did you?
Yeah, I said, is he Roman?
He was Roman, yes. So Marcus Licinius Crassus, and I looked that up. I definitely worked out how to say his name properly, practiced it and everything.
Good effort.
So he was a man that came from privilege. So he wasn't a poor man. He was born into a wealthy family, inherited prestige and resources. But for him, that wasn't enough. He wanted power. He wanted not just political power, but he wanted monetary power. He just wanted to own everything, control everything. Okay. Power hungry. Greedy bastard. That's why we're talking about him. He grew up in a time in Rome rife with turmoil, political upheaval, and economic disparity, and there was constant conflict. And Crassus saw these struggles not only as problems to solve, but as opportunities to exploit. So over his lifetime, he transformed from a privileged aristocrat into a name synonymous with unchecked greed.
Oh, okay.
So Crassus. So let's start with his most infamous invention, the fire brigade.
What? He invented the fire brigade?
He invented the fire brigade. And I Googled this to check it. And if you put in who invented the fire brigade, it's some guy in like 1827 or something.
Yeah.
But it actually says the first mention of any kind of fire brigade was back when Crassus started.
Fair dude. Sounds like an all right guy.
Yeah. Wait to hear this. So now most of us think of firefighters as heroes, people who risk their lives to save others. Crassus, however, saw fire as a business opportunity. In Rome, where wooden buildings were always at risk of burning down, Crassus organised his own firefighting teams, but he didn't just send them to save burning buildings. Instead, they'd arrive at the scene of a fire and wait while Crassus negotiated with the desperate owner.
That does sound like something your dad would do, actually.
It does, yeah. That ran through my head, actually. His offer, sell the property to him at an absurdly low price, or watch it burn to the ground.
Sell the property, not even to put the fire out. It's like not even to put the fire out. It's like you got to sell it to me, otherwise there's nothing going to be there.
Basically, he was like, right, sell it to me really cheap. I'll rent it back to you, and you can keep your house with all your stuff in it, or we just walk away and it burns to the ground and you got nothing. So, now there probably wasn't insurance in those days.
Yeah, that's blinding, that there, isn't it? It's a pretty good idea. Like.
Oh, genius. So if the owner agreed, Crassus would order his men to extinguish the fire. If they refused, the flames would consume everything, and Crassus would swoop in later to buy up the charred remains. So he'd just go and buy the bit of land anyway.
Charge him for clearing up the land.
Yeah, that's it. So this wasn't a one-time con, it was a systematic racket. Crassus exploited disasters to grow his fortune, building a reputation not as a saviour of Rome, but as its most shameless opportunist.
Yeah,
there was one of his scams.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good scam.
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed.
So another one was profiting from the sullen purges. Crassus' hunger for wealth went beyond exploiting fires. During the reign of the dictator Sulla, he found another way to expand his empire. Sulla declared that his enemies were public outlaws and their lives and properties were up for grabs. Crassus saw this chaos as a golden opportunity. He purchased confiscated estates at rock-bottom prices, often before the rightful owners were even executed. Imagine the horror, families torn apart, people losing not just their lives, but every piece of land, every heirloom, every shred of dignity, and Crassus standing there profiting from their misery.
That's pretty low. It's like, oh no, Dad's dead, he's being executed, but at least we've got his estate to fall back on. We'll be fine. We can see how our best years, in the the Pyrenees. That's an area, isn't it? Nope. Sorry.
Do you know what he sounds like? Have you ever watched Boardwalk Empire?
I've not. It's on my to watch list, but it's been so long now. It's kind of it's like, is it going to be dated now, or it's one of those where I've kind of put it off for so long.
It's set in like the 1920s. I mean,
I know, but it's the way it's filmed and stuff.
It's really good. It's really good. And Steve Buscemi plays such a brilliant role in it.
Yeah. I think that's why I wanted to watch it, because I do like him. I mean, it's not going to be Eddie Soprano, so that's the other thing that put me off.
No, but without spoiling it, basically he kind of reminds me of this Crassus, because he's not the mayor or in charge or anything. He's the kind of chancellor, who looks after the money.
Yeah. So
he has all the guys running the show, and in the background, he's just profiting out of it all.
So it sounds pretty realistic then.
Yeah. It's just exact. It still goes on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Another one was the Spartacus Rebellion. So Crassus' ambition wasn't limited to money. He wanted power, and he wanted it on a grand stage. When a massive uprising of enslaved people, led by Spartacus, threatened Rome. I didn't know Spartacus was real.
Yeah.
I thought it was a story.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's a real guy. There's a film about him.
Yeah. If you watch the series, that's quite good.
No.
But like between season 1 and season 2, the main actor Spartacus dies in real life.
Oh shit!
And they replace him with someone completely different.
And they're all going, "I'm Spartacus."
Yeah. But yeah, they replace him with like someone that doesn't even look similar. Completely.
Really,
different.
That would put me off. I'm not really into stuff like from that. I mean, I liked the Gladiator. That was good.
Yeah.
But that 300 I wasn't that keen on. That's Greek, isn't it?
I've never seen that.
No. And I've not seen the new Gladiator. That's supposed to be all right.
The series Rome's really good.
Yeah, see, it's not my era. I'm not really into that sort of stuff. But yeah, carry on. I'm enjoying this, though.
Yeah, you watch the darts, I'll just talk.
Oh, yeah, forgot about that.
But let's be clear, Crassus wasn't motivated by duty to Rome or justice. He just wanted glory and the political clout that came with it. After a brutal campaign, he defeated Spartacus and the rebels, but Crassus wasn't satisfied with victory. He wanted to make an example of them. He ordered the crucifixion of 6,000 captured rebels,
6,000.
lining the Appian Way with their bodies. For over 100 miles, the crucified rebels served as a grisly warning to anyone who might consider challenging Roman authority or Crassus's dominance.
6,000's a lot.
Yeah,
And I think
100 miles of road,
yeah,
just with crosses with dead people in it.
That's crazy. And I suppose the population of the world was a bit less then as well, so it's kind of like proportionately, you know.
Oh yes, 6,000 is like
it's a city.
Gosh, yeah, it's massive, isn't it?
Yeah. Crazy. And imagine walking down that road.
I'm a local joiner. Can you make me 6,000 crosses, please?
Is it crucified him then, I take it?
Crucified, yeah. So just, let's take the kids out for a drive, 100 miles of crucified people.
Birds pecking at their eyes. Can we go?
It's rank. I mean, like, you think sometimes you feel so grateful that you're about now, because see some of like the medieval times.
Yeah,
give me his tongue.
Yeah, some gruesome stuff. Yeah, I've not. You've been to the Torture Museum, haven't you? Is that Amsterdam?
I haven't been to the.
I've not been. So I'm just.
I don't know. I don't know if I have. No.
I've just seen some sort of. I don't know why, but I've seen some videos about it. It's just some brutal stuff. Hung drawn and stuff. Like, yeah.
I've done like the dungeon tours in like a few different cities where they have pretty rank stuff. Yeah, the breast remover. Have you seen that big needle that goes in the middle and then a big claw rips off the?
Oh God,
rips off.
Yeah, I've not seen that. Yeah, thankfully,
things like that's horrible. But yeah, like. Yeah, but you didn't have to do anything much. You could just say the wrong thing.
Yeah, well, the king's a bit of a bastard, isn't he? Right.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. You done.
Fucking hung, drawn, and quartered, crushed to death.
Yeah,
what about in the Far East? They get stoned, but if you can get out and run away before they kill you, you're safe.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, if you can. But a man's buried up to the waist, a woman's buried up to the head.
Oh, right.
So the woman's just got no chance.
Yeah.
Whereas a man's actually got a chance of, there's still a bit of imbalance over there. But
is that that still happens today?
I think in some parts of the Middle East, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I know they have sort of like
sticks,
capital punishment, don't they? Some description.
Yeah, there's one of them. There's one of the countries has an eye for an eye law, because I remember reading this story about a boy that had been speeding. And he crashed into someone, and that person was disabled from the waist down.
Oh, right.
So they took this boy and surgically disabled him from the waist down.
Fuck yeah.
In the eye for an eye law.
Did you see that kid from London? I think it was was it Saudi? It might have been Dubai, actually. So there was. Did you not see it in the news? No.
No.
So this guy went on a holiday with his family. He was 18, and he hooked up with this 17-year-old girl who was also from London. And they did the business and all that.
Yeah.
The girl flew back. Her mum found out about it, so she reported the guy to the United Arab Emirates authorities. Right. They arrested the boy, and now he's in prison for a year because she's underage. And
that's quite a lenient punishment over there, though.
Yeah, I guess so. But what a bitch, though! Like. Completely ruined his life for like the families had to fly back because they can't afford to stay there. You can't stay. So he's just sat in prison in Dubai like for 12 months because she grassed on him.
Fucking hell. Takes two to tango, doesn't it? It's not.
No, man, imagine. Yeah, it's so harsh. But anyway.
So this guy Crassus, remember him?
Oh, yeah.
So the silver mines. Crassus's greed extended to physical resources as well. He famously acquired a lucrative set of silver mines in Spain. So he was getting about.
Yeah.
These mines became one of the cornerstones of his vast wealth, and his control over them wasn't just about ownership. It was about exploiting the labour of thousands. He wasn't concerned with fair wages or humane conditions. He didn't concern himself with anything like that,
It reminds me a bit like Jeff Bezos.
Yes, yeah, true. For Crassus, the mines were a means to an end and extracting as much wealth as possible, regardless of the human cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does sound a bit like that.
Sounds a bit like him, doesn't it? Yeah.
I did work for a guy that goes around the world setting up the big Amazon distribution warehouses.
Yeah.
And the target for everyone that's set up is for it to be run entirely by a staff of 6.
And these massive big warehouses, the packing,
Yeah.
where they get all the parcels out and stuff.
That's it. Staff of 6. They've got some of them running like that, but they're trying to get all of them running like that. So it's just computerized.
Yeah, crazy.
So, yeah, that's why stuff. I still buy stuff off Amazon every day.
It's just convenient, isn't it?
I know. Fuck the world and the people living in it. I can get cheap stuff and I can get it delivered on a Sunday.
For free, just pay a membership and get it for free. Sound.
I know. Okay, so land hoarding. Crassus wasn't just Rome's wealthiest man, he was also its biggest landlord. He systematically acquired properties throughout the city, often by exploiting misfortune, as we've talked about before. In addition to his fire brigade scheme, he took advantage of families who'd fallen into debt, offering them paltry sums to take their homes or businesses. Rome wasn't just a city to him, it was a map of opportunities to exploit. He owned so much property that it said there was hardly a neighbourhood in Rome where he didn't have an influence.
Well, I hope he comes to a nasty end.
It doesn't really, no.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know why I hope that. It's not, he's just taking his opportunities. I mean, the fire thing was a bit shady, but...
I guess better. Slave dealing. Crassus didn't just rely on property to build his wealth. He trafficked in human lives, buying enslaved people in bulk and putting them through specialized training programs to increase their value.
Oh, really? Yep. Like gladiator? Did he create gladiators, or were they just slaves?
No, like professions. He trained slaves as scribes, accountants, artisans, professions that were highly sought after in Rome,
Really?
and sell them at exorbitant prices.
Have a slave accountant. Imagine that.
Yeah. To Crassus, slaves weren't people, they were investments, commodities to be exploited for maximum profit. So, I mean, again, all of this is a sick, bad man he was. He was quite clever.
Some good ideas. Like, I mean,
if I can buy a workhorse slave here for 5 denarii and train him to be an accountant and sell him for 100 denarii,
yeah,
then someone for 100 denarii gets someone that can do his accounts forever and he doesn't have to pay a wage.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the bad thing, isn't it? That they're not paying the wage thing. It's good for the slave guy because he earns a skill and it's such a skill that he can have with him for the rest of his life. It's a bit like school or university. Yeah. Bad thing is, he's still a slave at the end of it.
Yeah.
So,
but you'd rather be, if you're going to be a slave, you'd rather be a slave sitting doing accounts than out digging the fields, I suppose.
That's true. Yeah. So, fair play.
He had a monopoly on construction. Crassus exploited Rome's ever-growing need for construction. After buying up burned-down properties, he monopolized the rebuilding process. He employed massive teams of enslaved workers and controlled the materials needed for construction, ensuring that anyone who wanted to rebuild had to go through him and pay his inflated prices. Yeah. So basically just bought all the stone in the world so that people wanted stone, they had to buy it off him.
Buy it off him, yeah.
Controlled
it's businessman.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it sounds, because the practices sound sort of odd to us because it was 2,000 odd years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But is it really that different from what's happening today in
really, no.
companies having monopolies and, all right, slavery, well, say it's been abolished. Thankfully, it probably hasn't, but in our sort of Western eyes, it kind of has. In our sort of lovely houses and all the rest of it, we don't really come across it. But all like I say, it's just different opportunities with different times. You've got these cartels and monopolies and things like that that still exist today, and I don't think it's that much different.
But they say, I mean, certainly in the UK, there's like a control against monopolies. Because I remember, I'm sure it was Tesco's and Sainsbury's nearly merged, and the government blocked it because they said you would control too many of the supermarkets.
Yeah, they say that,
one
though,
company.
if you want to change your water company, you can't, though, can you?
Yeah, but that's it. That's what I mean. Like, when you start looking in the background of things, it does go on.
Mm.
But,
I'm surprised by United Utilities. Oh, I don't know. I don't even know. But I know I can't change it. That's just who it is, because they're the ones who own the network. So
that's it, yeah.
I mean, BT had a monopoly for years and years, and they had to break. Well, the government stepped in and broke that up, but they didn't really do anything because BT own all the equipment and things like that, and the telephone exchange.
Open Reach, isn't it? BT Open Reach.
Just rebranded it.
Everything goes through them. That's, I mean, like with the internet now, we've got Sky Fibre, but it was BT that came and put the line in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I've got Virgin, I think, but it comes through a BT line.
So all we do is we pay Sky and Sky pay BT, and if we move to Virgin, we'll pay Virgin, and Virgin pay BT for us.
Exactly. That's pretty much how it is. It's probably a bit more complicated than that, but yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. But yeah, so these things still happen today. So I don't see, it's just greedy bastards, and they've existed forever.
Yeah. Political greed. His financial greed was matched by his political ambitions. Crassus wasn't satisfied with being the richest man in Rome. He wanted to wield real power. He used his wealth to buy influence, funding political campaigns and bribing officials to secure his place in the first triumvirate alongside Julius Caesar and Pompey. But even in politics, his focus wasn't on Rome's welfare. It was on protecting and expanding his own interests. For Crassus, politics was just another avenue for personal gain.
What was that big word again that you said? What does it mean?
A triumvirate. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly, but it was basically a group of three people who share power or authority.
Oh,
so it's a little bit, instead of like one leader, three leaders that
like a coalition type thing.
Yeah. See, I had to research that earlier. There was the Parthian disaster. So even after amassing unimaginable wealth and solidifying his power, Crassus wasn't content. His insatiable greed drove him to pursue one final conquest. He set his sights on Parthia, a wealthy kingdom in the east, lured by tales of gold and riches beyond belief. But this campaign wasn't born out of strategic necessity. The Senate advised against it. His generals warned of the dangers. Even his own soldiers had doubts, but Crassus, blinded by ambition and greed, ignored them all. The campaign was a disaster. His army was ill-prepared for the harsh conditions and the tactical superiority of the Parthians. At the Battle of... Oh, yeah, it does have a shit end.
Yes.
I never read this bit. I'm leaving all that in. At the Battle of Carrhae, Crassus's forces were annihilated. Crassus himself was captured and executed. And in a twist of poetic irony, his captors allegedly poured molten gold down his throat,
a
grotesque symbol of his unquenchable thirst for wealth.
Fantastic.
I did read that, I just forgot. Yeah. I remember reading that earlier. I thought about Game of Thrones, the golden...
Yeah. And maybe they went where they got that from. But good, that's because he got greedy, you see.
He got greedy, yeah.
Too far.
But that's the thing about greed, is it never ends. And you look at people, I mean, you said Jeff Bezos, there's got to be, and you've said it before, there's got to be a point where you've got enough.
Yeah,
but they're still out there working 70, 80 hours a day for more.
Yeah, I've mentioned it on this pod, I'm sure. Nobody should be allowed more than £1 billion.
No, and I saw someone else saying that recently.
Yeah.
That there should be, tax should just go to 100% when you get over
$1 billion. You don't need more than £1 billion. Nobody needs more than £1 billion. So, yeah, I mean, that's just my way of thinking. Yeah. I just think if that happened, I think it would benefit so much more people than that person who's got 50 billion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my view.
This guy's greed killed him when he was at a point where he had everything.
Yeah, he didn't need
everything, and he wanted more.
Yeah,
and he died. It takes me back to those. Can I say it? Those idiots that went down in that thing to see the Titanic. couple of them were billionaires.
Yeah. You don't need
going in a tin can to see the Titanic.
You're doing it because you can pay for it. I do notice that like, every summer there seems to be some sort of like aquatic disaster that involves billionaires. There was that Titanic one. That was a few years ago. There was one just gone 2024. There's like a yacht went capsized, didn't it? And a few billionaires died on that. It seems to be every year, every summer, there's like some billionaires died in some sort of aquatic thing.
Yeah.
I wonder what it'd be this year.
Even, and I fully respect him. I've got a lot of respect for him, Richard Branson, because he is quite a decent guy. He's done quite a lot for people and stuff like that, and he treats his workers really well. But he tried to go around the world a couple of times in a hot air balloon, nearly died a couple of times. And you think, what for? Yeah. Because just go and live. He's got his own island.
Go and live on that.
The Caribbean.
Just sit off. Just sit off and get loads of shags. And just, just drink cocktails all day. Why are you going around in a hot air balloon? Madness.
Get good people around you. Spend time with your friends, with your wife or some women, whatever. Just go and enjoy yourself. Don't try and go around the world in a balloon.
Doesn't matter. It's not fun.
The ones in the Titanic, they had to shit in a bucket, and they looked through. It was like a computer screen, wasn't it? They went down, and they were looking at it on a computer screen.
I think you can't have windows going down that deep. I don't think because
I think there was like the tiniest little porthole or something. Yeah. But it's not like I could understand if they went down there, if you could scuba dive around it and touch it and stuff like that. But
even then, it's not something I'd fancy doing.
No, leave it alone. It sank 100 years ago.
Yeah, we know where it is. Just look at pictures.
And I watched the movie. It's just ridiculous. But that's just greed. Those people that did that in the Titanic, they didn't do that, I think, for them to see the Titanic. They did that, I think, so that they could tell people, I've been down there and I've seen it.
Yeah, like a flex.
That's it. It's a flex, yeah.
It's not.
That's greed.
It's not even, if I won, nobody wins $1 billion, do they? Maybe somehow I came to become a billionaire. It wouldn't even be like the first thing on my mind. It'd just be like, you'd have to, it's like, get myself comfortable, get a nice house, blah, 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 make sure everyone's all right. And then once you've done all that, it's like you've got so much money, you've got so much that you think, what can I spend it on? Like,
what can I do
What
next?
can I do with it? I'll just go and have a look at the Titanic because I've just got all this money I don't know what to do with.
Well, I've tried to explain this to the kids time and time again. If you went to Disney World 3 times a year, it wouldn't be exciting anymore.
Exactly.
If you and I've mentioned it in the past, Chester Zoo. We're members of Chester Zoo. You came with your family to visit Chester Zoo. You hadn't been there for years. You spent money. You went in. You made the most of it. You went and saw all the animals. You had a lovely day.
It was a great day. Yeah, really nice.
We can go every day because we're members.
Yeah, you turned up. You turned up at like 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
I think there's a coffee shop around here.
But that's it, and it's like we go, oh look, there's a lion again. But it's worth us being members because it's got a good play park and stuff. But it's like anything. You go, if I go to my kids, do you want to go to the zoo? They go, ugh. If you went to your kids, do you want to go to Chester Zoo again? They go, oh yeah, great.
Yeah.
Because it's few and far between. So what happens to billionaires is they just run out of mundane things to do because they can do anything.
Crazy shit can I do next?
That's it.
Yeah. Right, well...
So that's my podcast about Marcus Licinius Crassus.
I did like that. I've not heard of him before. And I like that he came to a sticky end as well. It serves him right for being a greedy man.
Well, what I liked about him is I liked a lot of stuff around him that I knew of. I knew of Caesar. I knew of Spartacus. I knew of, obviously, the fire brigade and stuff. And I didn't realise that this guy was actually linked to all of them. And
don't get me wrong as well. Like, making money isn't a bad thing. It's not a crime. It's a necessity in the world that we live in. Mm-hmm. And I think some of his business ideas were quite good, actually, fit in with the times. I don't mean the slavery thing, that's not good. You know what I mean? It's okay to be a businessman and make a shed load of money. It's just when you get to a certain point, like, why did he have to go and do that? I'm glad he got caught and captured. And Just that's just too much. Just pack it in.
The thing is, it's about morality as well. To stand outside someone's house while it's burning and to basically exploit the
is,
life out of them. If he basically turned up and said, "I'll put your fire out," it's £100.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
If he charged them because it's his fire engines and he made a profit on it, it's fine. But when you completely basically rape them,
yeah, that's I mean, there is that. Yeah,
everything they've got.
Exploitation is the factor, isn't it?
That's it.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
So we're back at it, and it's your turn next week.
Yeah, it's good to be back, I think.
Yeah.
I need this weekend. I've only been at work for 2 days and done in. Yeah, big things this year. I can feel it. Like I said, 2025 has a nice ring to it, just like 2020 did. We all know what happened there.
True, yeah. I don't know. I think it's like a weird year because my boy will start school at last, and that'll definitely be the last one. But I just feel 2025, I think I couldn't imagine I would ever be in 2025.
Well, it's mad. We're closer now to 2050 than we are to 2000.
Yeah, it's frightening, isn't it?
So yeah, Happy New Year.
Aye, Happy New Year. We always cheer everyone's days off, eh?
Righto. Okay, I'll leave you to your Friday evening. I think I'm going to go watch The Traitors. Did you watch The Traitors?
I've watched bits of it. It's one of those things. What happens is Laura and I'll watch a couple of episodes of it, and then
you just burn out. One
day I'll be in work and she'll have nothing to do, and she'll watch another 4 episodes, and then I've lost touch of it.
Oh, right. This is a new season, so it started the other day. This is the first one I've watched. I'm quite into it, actually.
It's all right. Yeah, it's quite good.
Yeah.
Interesting.
My daughter's really into it, so I'm kind of like doing it as a family thing. But
yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Do you know what I got right into? Married at First Sight.
Oh yeah,
Have you ever watched that?
I think I've seen one episode.
It's
something like that.
Something that I thought I would hate, but it's dead interesting actually.
Is it? Usually I'd say I might give that a go, like Broadwalk Empire. I might give that a go. I'm not going to do that with this.
Boardwalk Empire, definitely. It's really good.
Married at First Sight.
Some good actors
give
in
that
it.
one a swerve, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I would. But, yeah. Boardwalk Empire, watch that. It's good.
Okay, right. Okay, I'm going.
All right, enjoy the darts.
Oh yeah, I've got that to watch as well. All right, take it easy. See you later.
Take it easy. Nice to be back, listeners. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. I was like, there's no way I'm running in a building on fire for 18 grand a year. Fuck that.